Hello LinkedIn, it's Mike here, and we're on our fourth video for the Happy Manager video series. What we're going to talk about today then is getting clear on your why. So earlier on in one of my videos, I hypothesized that happiness at work can mean a combination of being healthy and being engaged in your work. And actually we talk about three questions: being healthy, being engaged and motivated at work, and having good work-life balance. Now, the important thing to understand about all three of those factors is they require effort, especially if you're a manager or people leader. They only happen if we put effort in. Okay, work-life balance is only going to happen, especially if we're leaders, if we put effort in. Being motivated at work is only going to happen if we consciously put effort in. Being healthy is only going to happen if we consciously put effort in. And for us to commit to putting consistent effort into something and actually making that stick, we have to lay the foundations first, which is getting clear on what our why is. Now, this is going to help you be healthier, but it's also going to help you be a better leader because it's a really good coaching tool. So before you commit to anything, get really clear on the why. Now, often your why will define your what. So if you haven't got a why in place, you're going to jump into maybe the wrong thing. You're going to start doing the wrong what. And a great example of this is health and fitness. So a lot of people decide towards the end of the year that they want to get healthier. They don't really get clear on the why and what they want to achieve. So they just kind of sign up to the gym, start going for a month, and then before February, March time, kind of fell off the bandwagon. And that's because, not because we're not really genuinely interested in improving our health, but because we didn't get clear on our why and our what. So the effort levels fell off. So let me give you an example outside of health. Let's talk about business. There's a really inspirational guy that I learn a lot from reading his books and watching some of his mentorship groups, and that's a guy called Dan Priestley. And Dan Priestley does this thing very, very well where he's good at defining different businesses. And when he's teaching groups, often with startups, I've seen him do this a few times, and it just completely changes the way people are thinking and lifts a large weight off their shoulders. So without going too complicated, Dan teaches people that there's a difference between a lifestyle business and a performance business. And when he breaks it down, to keep it very simple, a lifestyle business is a healthy profit business that needs about 4 to 5 staff and doesn't need a huge turnover to achieve that. A performance business is externally funded, get venture capital, lots of staff, complex business model. And lots of people in business don't understand the difference between those two things. So you've got these people, these startups trying to create a business and get a business off the ground running. And because they're not clear on where they're trying to get to, they end up trying to do the things that you need to do to get to a performance business, and they just feel lost and frustrated down the line. But once they realize actually what they really want is a lifestyle business, once they get clear on why they're doing business to give them the lifestyle that they want, not to become the next Jeff Bezos, once they get clear on the why, that defines the what, which actually looks like this, which completely changes the approach they need to take towards it and is more aligned to them, which means they're more likely to stick at it. So that might feel like a bit of a tangent, but let's apply that to being healthier, or let's stick with health. So let's apply that to being healthier as a manager. So you decide you want to be healthier. I sit with and deliver workshops to managers across a wide range of businesses and senior staff. And I always like to, if we're talking about health, because it's one of the three components, I always like to ask the group, how many of you in here are genuinely interested in fitness? And by fitness, I mean training 3 to 4 times a week, performance goals, being able to run fast, being able to lift weights, being able to complete sports, having a 6-pack, whatever it might be. And about, on average, depending on the business, I'd say about 20% of the room put their hands up, normally less. Then I ask the group, how many of you in here are genuinely interested in health? And that means living as long as possible, being pain-free, having energy, avoiding disease. And by and large, 100% of the room will put their hand up. And this is really important because lots of managers are struggling with their health because they need to put effort in to make it better. But they're not clear on what they're trying to achieve when they do try and improve it. So they end up jumping into lots of different things that don't really work for them. And what most of them do is go from, if we picture a pyramid, at the bottom here we've got unhealthy. Then next in the pyramid we've got healthy. Then after that we've got not flexible enough. After that, we've got kind of fitness and performance. And what most people do is they decide they want to be healthier, they want to be fitter. They don't get clear on their why, which is 99% of the time they want to be healthier. Because they don't get clear on their why, they start pursuing, they bypass the health stage and they jump to fitness and performance goals. So if you've ever gone from being overweight and unhappy and tired to trying to run a marathon, you've done that. You've bypassed the health goal and you've jumped up to fitness. If you've gone from that unhealthy stage again to going on the world's strictest diet, you've bypassed the health stage, going on to health and fitness and performance. And as I mentioned at the beginning, those things take effort, and that sustained effort is unlikely to last because it is really hard to achieve those things, and it's not actually what you want. So you're doing these things that feel hard, that don't fit in with your life, and they're not actually what you want. What you want is to live longer, to have more energy, to feel good about yourself. So get really clear on your why. Ask yourself, why am I thinking about going to the gym? Why am I thinking about moving more? I want to be healthier. Go 3 levels into your why. Why because of A, why because of B, well, why that because of C. Most of the time you're going to find out it's actually because you want to live longer, not because you want to be able to run a marathon. Once you've established your why, you can then choose the most appropriate path. And if you get lost on what that needs to be, that's when you ask somebody else. But to be healthy, for example, you don't need to run, you don't need to go to a gym, you don't need to lift weights, although there is lots of health benefits to all of those things. What you do need to do as a very baseline is be hitting a minimum amount of steps a day and eating more whole foods. It's really starts to get as simple as that. And once you get good at that stuff, then maybe you can look at the rest. But we need to get into a habit of asking what our why is and then using that to define our what. That's a really good coaching tool, not just for health, but for work-life balance, for engagement in the workplace, whatever it might be, for helping your staff. Get into the habit of asking them why. Get really deep into the why, and then get from that why, okay, well, what does that look like? That's going to help you tons become a more effective manager, become a more effective people leader, become a more effective coach, because if you're a manager, you are a coach, whether you believe it or not, and to get better at sticking to the things that you want to achieve.